Developing now, former Republican presidential candidate Alan Keyes, a Catholic priest, and 19 others have been arrested at the University of Notre Dame. They are charged with trespassing. The group marched onto campus to protest tomorrow's scheduled commencement address by President Obama. They are objecting to his support for abortion rights and embryonic stem cell research. Joining me live from Washington, D.C. to talk about it is Kathy Roos, Senior Fellow for Legal Studies with the Family Research Council. Also live in D.C., James Salt, Communications Director with Catholics United. And a good morning to the two of you.
Good morning, Alex. It's a pleasure to be on your program.
I'm glad you guys are both with me. Thank you. So, Kathy, we'll do a ladies first here with Notre Dame has hosted Presidents George W. Bush, Ronald Reagan, who supported the death penalty and took other positions at odds with the Catholic Church. So why the massive protest now over President Obama? Are you seeing any sort of double standard here?
Well, the slaughter of millions of innocent human beings just can't be compared to any other issue. And the Pope, in fact, has said that they're not equivalent issues. It's definitely not a partisan issue, as my opponent and others like to say, because Notre Dame has honored Democrats throughout its history. But what it hasn't honored in the past is someone who supports infanticide for abortion survivors, partial birth abortions, secret abortions for minors, forcing Catholic doctors and hospitals to do abortions. Obama is a pro-abortion ideologue, and he's the most pro-abortion president in history, and that is something that is new.
Okay, I'm glad our director put up the split screen there so we can see James, who was shaking his head through all this. James, what are you shaking your head about?
Well, no. The attacks that are being orchestrated by the far right on the university are clearly a partisan agenda. It's a selective application of the Catholic faith that you know, in addition to abortion, there are many things that are of concern to us, including torture, war, poverty, and to just simply say that this is the most important issue, although yes, it is important, it doesn't dismiss our obligations to defend.
James, that's what the church says, that abortion is the most fundamental human rights issue of our day. And where Barack Obama is, he is in fact at war with the church on this issue. So bestowing an honor suggests either Obama's not at war with the church or that it doesn't matter.
How about this, though, Kathy? I want to throw this Quinnipiac University poll right now at you, but it shows that 56% of the voters say President Obama should go to the commencement. 60% of Catholics say the university should not rescind its invitation, which obviously they did not do. What is your reaction to those numbers?
Well, I think the question is, should he have been invited to receive an honor in the first place? And the Catholic bishops are very clear. They have decided, and in 2004 made the statement very plainly, that Catholic institutions should not give honors to those who defy fundamental human principles. And abortion, according to the bishops, is the most important human rights issue of our day. Look, yesterday the poll came out that shows that Americans are now majority pro-life. So Barack Obama is on the wrong side of the church on this issue. Well, to 42% pro-choice, so that's a big divide. So he's on the wrong side of the church on this issue, but also on the American people.
All right, James,
let me ask you, Kathy, though. Yeah, I mean, where was the moral outrage, Kathy, when President Bush spoke at St. Vincent's College despite implementing a policy of torture? Torture, yes, the church teaches is an intrinsic evil.
The Pope and the Church have both said that the slaughter of millions of human beings does not equate with any other issue.
So is the targeting of civilians in war, so is racism.
This is the most fundamental issue at the church.
The church classifies many things as intrinsic evil. As intrinsically evil.
They don't say there's only one most important human rights issue of our day, and that's abortion. And look, President Obama supports secret abortion for minor girls without their parents' knowledge. He's forcing taxpayers to fund abortions. He wants to overturn all state laws that regulate and reduce abortions today, including
I think you're being a little bit.
You know what? He's a pro-abortion
mischaracterizing the president's position on abortion.
James, I want to give you the last word, James, because I think in balance that would seem fair in terms of time here. So the question is, what overall does the president's appearance do, both for the anti-abortion movement and for the pro-abortion rights advocates? How do you see this playing out?
Well, the president has initiated a program in the West Wing, in the Domestic Policy Council, to bring together both sides, both the pro-choice and the pro-life community, to come to the table, to find common ground solutions that both sides can agree with to actually reduce the number of abortions in America. There's 1.2 abortions a year in America. That's 1.2 million too many. 1.2 million abortions a year too many. And we need to find solutions. Roe v. Wade's been in place for 35 years. It's not going to be overturned anytime soon. Therefore, Kathy, isn't it worth our interest? Isn't it worth our interest to work together to find solutions that will actually reduce the number of abortions in this country?
Okay, well,
I ask you, will you join us?
Taxpayers to pay for abortions doesn't reduce them.
Here's the deal. I love spirited discussion, and so for that, I thank the both of you, Kathy Roos and James Salt. Thank you very much.